A very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. We welcome you to UBC News tonight. My name is Micheal Lukomwa. Mugalu Muhammad joins in for sign language interpretation, and this is what we have for you tonight. First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has attributed the success of primary 7 candidates to perseverance during the COVID-19 pandemic era. Mrs. Museveni was officiating at the release of the 2020 PLE results at State House in Entebbe.
The results, PLE 2020.
The 2020 primary leaving examination results have been released at a ceremony held at State House in Entebbe. At least 659,910 of the 749,761 candidates from 14,300 centers who sat the 2020 exams passed, and 12,819 missed the examinations. The exams were written in March 30th and 31st, 2021, due to the unusual circumstances.
Teachers admitted that they registered primary 6 pupils, mostly girls, to sit the PLE. The reason given for this was that parents were worried about girls' fast growth, and
the results indicate that pupils from urban schools and non-UPE performed better than government UPE schools. This was attributed to parents' involvement in their children's education, mostly in urban areas. However, the Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, says education of children is a shared responsibility by government and parents.
So, you cannot blame education when it's not well done on just school or government even. We have to share this blame. The UPE and USE schools are not doing well yet because we have no support from the families that take care of children.
The best done subject was SST. Mathematics had a slight drop in performance across all 3 pass levels, and English there was overall improvement in performance at the minimum pass level.
Indeed, when you look at the distinction level for science, we are recording 10.9% of the children who were able to pass this subject with a distinction compared to 4.9% in the previous year, showing a remarkable improvement. We have reported in previous years the candidates' performance in English and mathematics tended to be a little poorer in questions that require them to have free expression or to apply concepts that they have learned to solve problems. Where the questions were a bit more direct and based on recall, the performance has been good.
Results of 2,220 candidates have been withheld, pending completion of investigations. According to UNEB, the largest number of withheld results are from districts of Bundibujo and Kasese in the Renzori sub-region.
So 3 cases of impersonation, where other people other than the registered candidates were brought to write the examination for those who were registered. Security personnel also arrested some people who were vending fake papers on the eve of the examination. But unlike in 2019, the cases of fake papers were much fewer.
UNEB reports that scouts and examiners reported a number of cases of suspected external assistance given to candidates inside examination rooms by third parties and cases of impersonation. The First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports expressed disappointment that some teachers and schools continue to involve themselves in examination malpractice.
This type of corruption must be put to an end. It is my prayer and hope that when investigations are completed, those culpable will be subjected to the penalties prescribed in the law, and UNEB shall name and shame such schools.
I'm Navka Farida in Entebbe.
We congratulate all the P7 leavers of 2020 and wish them all the best. On the same story, the Minister for Education and Sports has hailed the role of digital learning for enabling people stay active during the COVID-19 lockdown. Mrs. Museveni was speaking shortly after the release of PLE results at State House in Debe.
The COVID-19 pandemic led to the closure of schools in March 2020 as a preventive measure against the further spread of COVID-19, affecting children and their ability to read and write. In response, the Minister of Education and Sports devised means of making learning more accessible to children to ensure continuity.
Once again, I want to
In addition to
welcome
distributing
you to
study materials,
this
the Minister also facilitated digital learning on radios and television.
Hello viewers, this is UBC, your public broadcaster, with me, teacher Micheal.
God bless you all. God bless Uganda. Thank you.
While releasing the 2020 PLE results, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Museveni, hailed the homeschooling initiative as having contributed to the good performance.
For the primary 7 class of 2020, did benefit largely from the home study materials we heavily invested in. We supplemented lessons through radio and television broadcasts in regions where such services were enriched.
Mama Janet observed that despite the pandemic, the number of registered candidates increased by 7.75% in 2020 than the previous 5 years.
Sadly, 12,819 registered candidates were not able to show up for the exams. Now, whereas the rate of absentee candidates has been on the decrease from 2.7% on registered candidates in 2016 to 1.7% in 2020, our education system needs to account for this category of learners who register but never do the exams. This is where we need the help from the parents, because we must track these children who register because they want to do exams but never get to do them.
Responding to the media about the 20 billion relief funds to teachers in private schools, Janet Museveni and former Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education, Alex Kakoza, said data is being collected to ensure equitable distribution.
They agreed and requested us, the political leadership, Mama, to approve that in the interim, just like the Walimu Sacco did, in the interim, they begin using the Microfinance Support Center to manage their resource as they form their own, as they agree, the fund manager. So, Mama, the political leadership, yourself, has agreed to their proposal, and now we are waiting for them now to engage the Microfinance Support Center with the assistance of the ministry to agree the modalities of distribution of this money. So the money is now available for the teachers.
The State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Muriku Kaduchu, said that teachers are to benefit from the 100,000 relief fund.
So I want to say yes, there is a lot of hope in terms of identifying these people. It's one of the easiest exercise, and it is still on progress. And also, Mama, not that all of them have not received these funds. I want to say this allegation is not correct. Some of them to date have received the fund, but others have not received. We are very hopeful that given the extension, they will all receive, those who have been earmarked to receive this benefit.
According to the Minister of Education and Sports, the details of selection exercise for Senior 1 will be communicated later, but not before the lockdown has been lifted. Bernard Higa, UBC News.
The release of the 2020 National Primary Living Examinations has sparked of celebrations in homes after most children, after receiving their results through SMS. Candidates were able to access their results by typing PLE space full index number of the candidate and then send to 6600 on all mobile telecom networks.
PLE 2020.
The release of the 2021 Primary Living Examinations has been exceptional from all previous years. Schools under lock and key, students at home only allowed to celebrate with family members, communication with head teachers done on phone, and no one predicting a year like this. Unlike previous celebrations that garnered hundreds, families checked via SMS, then the party and excitement started. Diana Balaba, a mother to Musmenta Lucas, a pupil of Seta Junior School, couldn't hide joy with news that her son had scored 6 aggregates. Despite being in a home setup, the joy that comes after achieving was inevitable. At Nakasero Primary School, a government-aided school, premises were lock and key. The head teacher, Richard Abura, was monitoring results on phone. To him, he was content with the results given the nature of learning during the pandemic.
The Ministry of Education is working on a program because by the time the second lockdown came in, the P6s and then the P1 to P3, they were given about 7 months, which they would have ended on the 24th of this July.
At Nachivo Blue Primary School, one teacher was present monitoring the situation. The head teacher, Agnes Kabalisa, couldn't accommodate the overwhelming numbers of students who wanted to come in to check their results. We took a foot at the neighborhood residing at the fire brigade headquarters, explaining the hardship they went through to reach stardom.
When we were still at school, we were about to do some papers. They told us that they're going to close all schools. Most people, all of us had the hope that you're going to complete our P7 2020. But in our mind, we came to find out that they had closed lockdown.
At Cornerstone Junior School, 150 pupils sat for PLE, 120 excelling in first grade. The headmaster, Immaculate Mawanda, says that they used the necessary means amidst the pandemic.
The candidates 2020, we appreciate the efforts they put in. They were able to excel, all of them, with 120 of them passing in first grade out of 149. We appreciate good for the fours. Over 6 children passed with 4 aggregates. Over 17 passed with 5 aggregates. We appreciate good so much with that excellent performance despite the difficulties.
At Brain Baton's Grammar School, 25 pupils sat for PLE, 15 got first grade, while 8 were in second grade.
I've managed to get 15 first grades, and I'm talking about quality first grades. Out of the total number of children who sat, were 23, we have managed to get 15 first grades, which translates into 65%. And the rest of the children, who number about 8.
At Elion Kindergarten and Primary School Mutungo, girls performed better than their counterparts. James Kashasi, the head teacher, highlighted that out of 63 pupils who sat for the 2020 PLE, 50 of them excelled in grade 1, while 6 were in grade 2.
The candidates of this year, 2020, they didn't have enough time due to the COVID interference.
At King Fahad Islamic Primary School, Busega, over 82 candidates sat for exams. 70 managed Division 1, 9 in Division 2, while 3 were in Division 3. The other private institution that we visited is Victoria Education Services, where the head teacher was ecstatic after learning that the pupils had performed well. Dr. Barbara Ofono Buyondo said that they embraced e-learning that was key to their success. By press time, celebrations were still ongoing.
That is Ngavo Amon reporting for UBC TV News. There was jubilation at Fort Portal Tourism City after they emerged with good grades in the primary living examination. Ululations covered the school as parents, pupils and teachers received the good news of their performance.
Teachers, parents and pupils of Fort Portal Tourism City were filled with joy following the great performance of their pupils in the recently concluded primary living examinations.
Things were not easy. It was like a battle.
Despite the struggles and hassles caused by the pandemic, pupils have managed to perform to their expectations. They expressed happiness over their excellent performance.
We passed through many battles, but what helped us was God and our teachers. If it was not this COVID, I think we would be celebrating here at school.
Lucy Kemigisa, her parent, narrated what almost made her give up on her daughter's education following financial hardships.
I have suffered with them. I am a mother who is struggling for them.
At Toro Parents Primary School were also teachers jubilating over their performance. Out of the 60 pupils that sat for exams, 58 passed in Division 1 and 2 passed in Division 2. Arias Kagaba, the head teacher of Toro Parents, commends the government for containing COVID-19, asking for mass vaccination to enable children report back to school.
We appreciate the government's effort in calming down the coronavirus pandemic.
At Buhinga Primary School, a government-aided school, also were parents jubilating. Pupils performed in Division 1 and 2. Eric Mugasa, the head teacher of Buhinga Primary School, challenged the parents who ignore government schools to change their mindset.
As long as a student has been taught well in a government school and has been taught very well with a trained teacher who is competent enough, and the child having all what is given, then the child is in position to pass.
Vincent Twesje, the Renzori West police spokesperson, however, warned schools against celebrations that may expose them to a deadly pandemic.
To warn all schools against violating the pandemic rules by holding school celebrations.
Story compiled by Bridget Kabahenda for UBC News.
In Lira City, most schools visited had only a handful of teachers studying their results, receiving their results. However, at Lira Central Primary School, a young girl, Ziada Cheng, who emerged the best with 4 aggregate, was over the moon celebrating her score.
Unlike in the past, most schools would be filled with pupils and parents celebrating their results. Most schools we visited today, however, had only a handful of P7 teachers going through the results posted to their portals by UNEB. At Saving Grace Primary School, we found teachers celebrating their hard-earned victory after 38 of their pupils passed in Division 1 out of the 40 who sat this year.
Year 2020, December, we had done everything in the coverage. The new year 2021, we started seriously with revision, and we started giving individual attention to our learners because we were aware of each of their challenges. So we started addressing them one at a time.
Although most government schools were closed, some private schools were open with a few staff to handle visitors. At Lira Central Primary School, we caught up with Jero Monya, the director of the school where 119 pupils passed in first grade.
So, being a day school, we give these children heavy lunch. So there's no moment that they study when they have empty stomach. I'm so happy with this performance.
As he addresses the media, this pupil emerges with her parents.
She's my last born in the family. All our siblings have been getting first grade, but not a 4.
Ziada Acheng Ibong is the best in the school with aggregate 4. Acheng, who said her mother would always chase her away from home on Sundays to go for remedial lessons, wants to become a chemical engineer.
I want to make Uganda proud, and by that I will become a chemical engineer.
She applied to go to Nabisunsa. As a parent, I'm preparing to make sure she go to her school, school of her wish.
With the current surge in COVID-19 in the country, most schools are urging parents to support their home district schools for the good of their children.
Things might continue again and we shall have problem in bringing back this. So let's utilize the schools that are within our locality. And even other districts, please. Let's bring up these children in the schools, traditional schools that we have in our district.
A total of 749,761 pupils sat for PLE this year in 14,300 centers across the country. Ediolwa, UBC News.
We continue to congratulate all the candidates that have passed and all those that got challenges. May you get what you wish next year, this year, or anytime, but the best is always ahead of you. Let's take a very short break. Do not miss our world history here.
Today in history.
On July 16, 1990, more than 1,000 people are killed when a 7.7 magnitude earthquake strikes Luzon Island in the Philippines. The epicenter of the quake was north of Manila in the Nueva Ecija province. Reports indicate that the shaking went on for nearly a full minute, collapsing buildings which were the main cause of damage and death. A Christian college, a 6-story building, completely collapsed, trapping approximately 250 students and teachers inside.
As the financial year 2020-2021 draws to an end, URA has put measures in place to facilitate taxpayers to file their returns and pay taxes within the set deadline. All our offices across the country and the URA Contact Center shall remain open to provide extra support to our esteemed taxpayers. Additionally, we have extended our contact center service hours from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays and public holidays. In light of the COVID-19 risks, we encourage taxpayers to reach us through our improved contact center and other online platforms instead of making physical visits to our offices. For online support, please reach us through our toll-free lines 0800 117 000 or 0800 217 000. Email services@ura.go.ug. Website ura.go.ug. Social media: Facebook, URA page, Twitter @URA Uganda. URA Customs Help Tool, help.ura.go.ug/login. URA appreciates all taxpayers who have duly fulfilled their obligations. Stay safe and let us all observe the standard operating procedures to prevent further spread of the COVID-19 virus. Stay safe as we develop Uganda together. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Century Points when you deposit, send, and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
COVID-19, chija kubwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
The Universal Periodic Review, UPR, is a unique process under the United Nations. It involves peer review of the human rights records of all UN member states every 4 years. The ultimate aim of the UPR is to help improve on the human rights situation in all countries through technical assistance and cooperation. Uganda will be reviewed in January 2022. This is an opportunity to raise international advocacy on Uganda's human rights situation. The National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders Uganda is coordinating all CSOs to participate in the CSO alternative reporting process in liaison with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. For more information, email info@hrdcoalition.ug or call 0772 484 504.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*4#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
In efforts to improve quality assurance and Uganda's competitiveness as a tourist destination, Uganda Tourism Board is set to undertake a nationwide grading and classification exercise of hotel and accommodation facilities. As a member of the East African community, Uganda subscribes to the East African Grading and Classification Criteria, a system denoted by stars ranging from 1 to 5. The grading and classification exercise will be crowned by the awarding of star ratings to facilities found compliant to the EAC minimum standards. This is therefore a call to all accommodation and facility owners and managers to register and get licensed by UTB as a requirement and get ready for participation. For more information, visit www.utb.go.ug or email qualityassurance@utb.go.ug for details. Uganda Tourism Board, promoting tourism together.
UBC News Tonight. Welcome back from the break, and this is Business News. During the just concluded second National Development Plan, government faced challenges of tracking the implementation progress as the silo working approach. The Minister for General Duties in the Prime Minister's Office, Justin Kasule Lumumba, says having an integrated monitoring and evaluation system will help government plan for its people. She made the remarks during the launch of the NDP web-based integrated system.
Despite the achievements registered, further findings revealed that the country's monitoring and evaluation system still faces challenges. In bid to bridge this gap, National Planning Authority has today launched a web-based monitoring and evaluation system at the office of the Prime Minister. Ugandans reportedly often miss out on government services due to lack of proper household data. The Minister, General Duties in the Office of the Prime Minister, Justin Lumumba, who represented the Prime Minister at the event, explained that this will help on following on corrupt government officials who cripple government programs.
The government has developed a monitoring and evaluation system to aid tracking and steering performance. This system is one of the critical interventions and tools for invigorating the functioning of the public sector by improving timely performance reports and for ensuring that decision-making in policy formulation and policy management is backed by evidence. It is an integrated system that brings together different functions and data management systems to complement each other. The availability of this tool is an assurance that we will improve timely progress review of performance on the National Development Plan.
The State Minister for Finance, Amos Lugolobi, says the ministry is committed to financing the development and management of information systems for local governments through working with Ministry of ICT and NITAU to support the digitalization of government functions.
Right now, Prime Minister, the Ministry of Finance will be available to ensure that this system is financially supported to ensure that we deliver. On behalf of the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, I pledge our commitment to supporting development of modules for the remaining ministries, districts to enable full operationalization of the system.
The launch wouldn't have been a success without counter-funding from development partners like the European Union, among others. The system is aimed at producing the electronic periodic reporting on NDP implementation progress on monthly, quarterly and annual expenditure. Helen Barbara Jizamba reporting for UBC TV News.
Yes, the Minister of State for Microfinance, Haruna Kasolo Cheyune, has urged all microfinance institutions to project procedures aimed at ensuring small and medium-sized enterprises who are affected by the COVID-19 pandemic are helped to remain in business. The minister was meeting the management team of Leshego Uganda Microfinance at the Kampala head office to assess the performance and challenges faced by the institution. The Chief Executive Director, Aijuke Giles, said that measures are underway to boost business for the youth and women groups.
The Minister of State for Finance in charge of microfinance, Haruna Kasolo Cheyune, has applauded Leshego Uganda for the stringent measures which help boost businesses for both small and medium businesses. Kasolo was meeting the management team of Leshego Uganda Microfinance at the head office in Kampala. He said through financial inclusion, the gap between creditors and lenders will be bridged. He was also impressed by the measures Leshego has put to reduce effects of COVID-19 pandemic, which enable clients to remain into business. The Chief Executive Officer, Leshego Uganda, Giles Aijuke, says his microfinance institution has issued loan repayment holidays to clients for a period of 3 to 9 months.
When you have the money, pay it to us. But now that has not happened. When tax falls due, you must pay it as it's due. And because we are struggling with cash flows, we have almost 50 billion of our book on a repayment holiday. We are not collecting any coin from them. So then how do we pay what is due to government?
And this loan repayment holiday means that the debtors will not be charged an interest rate or pay any fees per agreed period of time. Leshego Uganda is a microfinance institution that offers SME loans and education loans, among others.
Final end of year income tax.
And that brings us to the end of our first edition of UBC News Tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get to you at 10 p.m. with the bigger arrangement. My name is Micheal Lukomwa with Muhammad Mugalu. Do not miss UBC One-on-One coming up next in just a few minutes with officials from the Ministry of Health, where we took them on issues to do with accountability. Get to know where our money is spent, where your money is spent in relation to COVID-19, and how in the program that we had with them.